So at this point, I believe that the Carmelo Anthony family should just ride off into the sunset, count their losses, and just keep it moving because their son is going to prison. The question is for how long? And this latest stunt they're trying to pull is just is amazing. The audacity of this family to ask for this much more money compared to where they at right now financially is crazy work, man. Look at this. Okay, so if you pull up the Carmelo Anthony's official Give Send Go page, they, of course, we all know they raised over $500,000. Right now, they're sitting at 543,056. They have upped the ante to 1.396 million or $1,396,725. It says, we are grateful for your support during this incredibly difficult time for Carmelo Anthony and his family, blah, 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 blah. While legal defense is a critical part of this journey, we want to make it clear that this fund is not solely dedicated to legal expenses. The funds raised will also support a range of urgent and necessary needs that have emerged as a result of the situation, including but not limited to safe relocation of the Anthony family due to escalating threats to their safety and well-being, as well as basic living cost, transportation, counseling, and other security measures. We ask for your continued prayer, support, and solidarity. So yeah, basically they are saying they have other living expenses that they need to take care of. Transportation and counseling. Please pray. Oh, it says prayer request. So yeah, and if you scroll over here to the donations, they're still getting money, but the donations are just not adding up as fast as they were. One person gave $20 in the past hour. Another person gave $6, $10, $20, $7, 25, 10. You know, a little small chump change like that. And I'm just like, wow. So y'all still going. Like they're still expecting people to give them money. They're not going to reach that basically $1.4 million goal. They're not going to hit that, bro. Like it's over with. Like I said, Carmelo Anthony is cooked. Let me go back to my main screen. Okay, so yeah, like I said, for those of y'all that haven't been paying attention, he was officially indicted about a week or two ago. And in the criminal justice system, when you're actually indicted, that's when they officially bring those charges against you. It's when they are able to go through the evidence against you and they're able to charge you more appropriately based on how strong of a case they have against you. And of course, we know there is a video or two that shows the actual encounter between Carmelo and Austin Metcalf. I don't think it actually shows the, knife to the heart, but it does show some commotion and it shows the aftermath of the event. I don't know if anybody has any actual footage of the actual stabbing, but there is video footage of commotion ensuing after the stabbing. So after you get indicted with a first degree murder charge, that pretty much sets the stage for the prosecution's case against you. And I just don't see how Carmelo Anthony is going to get out of this. Self-defense is out the window. And a lot of black people are starting to finally wake up and smell the roses and realize that Carmelo was cooked.
Breaking news. So apparently the family of Karmelo Anthony set up another GoFundMe for $1.4 million. Okay, this is less than 2 months ago when they had a GoFundMe up that surpassed what they were asking for. They're saying that this 1.4 million is for legal fees. I got questions. I need answers. You said the last GoFundMe was for fees. How is both of them for fees? I'm confused. And that's not the kicker. The kicker is over $500,000 has already been donated. Okay? Over a half. So we're donating to murderers now. Like, what's going on? We're donating to people who have taken other people's lives. I want that to make sense. I want you to help me make that make sense. This is crazy.
So Carmelo Anthony's family is asking for an additional $1 million. And although Carmelo was the one who committed the crime, planned the crime, went and conducted the crime, he is now claiming to basically be the victim. His family is now claiming that they too are the victims. And even though they blew through all the money that they received, and some of the people who donated are quite upset, they feel that in order for them to be successful, they need to fight racism and they need more money for his trial. So they're asking for an additional $1 million.
So Carmelo Anthony's family is back to begging for more money in order to quote unquote cover his legal fees. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but in the beginning of this entire story, when it first broke into the mainstream media cycle, we found out that Carmelo's family put out a GoFundMe that was then taken down, and they had to put out a Give, Send, Go, where they raised upwards to $500,000, if not more, in order to cover legal expenses. That money was then used for allegedly personal reasons. We'll just keep it at that. Now, here we are with an update on June 25th, 2025, where the family is now looking to raise upwards to $1.396 million. Right there. $1,396,725 is what they're looking to raise in order to defend this guy.
And you know the video wouldn't be complete if we didn't do some reactions to some of these comments. On TikTok, you do still have people that are supporting Karmelo. One person put it's more black people that's against Karmelo. I still support Karmelo, and I am praying for him and his family. Another person put, it's astonishing how many black people are in opposition to Karmelo, given all of the information out there, especially the constant debunking of misinformation. Me and mine will continue to support and pray for a fair, just trial. This next comment is kind of interesting because if you look at the avatar, it's a white woman. Maybe it's a white woman, maybe it's not, I don't know. Thank you. We want the Anthony family to know that there are many of us that support Karmelo and are taking note of blatant racism and hatred being spewed around this case. We believe Karmelo will be here for the long run. Hashtag hate Karmelo. Hashtag I stand with Karmelo. And then, of course, another person put free Karmelo. So, as you can see, there are still some people supporting Karmelo. If you're black and you support Karmelo, that's your business. If you're black and you don't support Karmelo, that's also your business. You have a right to either support this kid or not. Me personally, I do not support his actions. I don't hate the young man. I don't know him. I didn't know Austin Metcalf. I have zero ties to this case, as do 99.9999998% of American society. The only people that have ties to Karmelo and the Metcalf family are their actual family members and people that knew them personally out in the Frisco part of Texas. Now, the so-called minister Dominique Alexander, who's I guess the family spokesperson, he says there's a lot of misinformation going on, and I'm gonna play one more clip before I wrap this video up. There has been some information about Carmelo's family being broke and they're hiring a public defender. He says that's a lie. He says that they're still the primary. I'm sorry, my tongue got tied. The primary attorney is still on the case. He hasn't gone away. And I guess they're blowing through so much money that they realize that in order for them to keep that lawyer, because, you know, lawyers have what's called a retainer fee, which basically is a fee they charge just to stay on your case. It's just a lot of money adding up real fast. And greedy people like Dominique Alexander, he's got his hands in their pockets. And they're just blowing through a lot of money right now, and there's a lot of people that's digging in their pockets, so they're asking for more money. They're not going to get no $1.4 million. I just don't believe that black people are going to give them that much more money, but they'll just have to make do with what they have and accept the fate of their son. But according to Dominique Alexander, they are not broke and they are not using a public defender. This is what he says.
Hello, y'all. This is Minister Dominic Alexander. I just wanted to take this time, y'all, to be able to address some of the lies regarding the Karmelo Anthony case, right? I have no interest in being able to try this case in the court of public opinion, right? Of course, you know, I am the president of the Next Generation Action Network, and we are the advocacy group in regards to the Karmelo Anthony case, right? We're not the attorneys, right? The criminal attorney is different from the advocacy group who is yet advocating on the behalf of Karmelo Anthony. I just want you to know that the information that says that Karmelo Anthony's family put out a packet for a court-appointed attorney is false, y'all. Attorney Mike Howard is still on the case. I don't know where all of this information, no, let me correct. I do know where this information is coming from. And I just want people to know that the person who put this information out, the hateful person who put this information out, know what they are doing, right? And when you are indicted in the state of Texas, that is a generated, computer generated thing where this information is generated internally, right? Most people don't even see this information, but I just wanted people to just rest their mind. Mike Howard is the attorney on the case. He has not been removed, or he has not removed himself, right? And if that was true, or if any of that was true, you would see a press release that would come from my organization if he removed himself, or if the family removed him, right? Whatever it may be. But that's not even the case. These are deliberate lies, y'all, right? And so people are using their platform by getting information from news outlets that they never even heard of. And then they're sending this stuff to us, asking us, is it true? Come on, y'all. Like, really, like, this is stupidity, y'all. Come on now. Like, listen, at the end of the day, whether you are a supporter of Karmelo Anthony or not a supporter, at the end of the day, hey, the trial will happen, right?
Okay, so that's all I'm going to play. I'm going to wrap this video up. If you want to watch the whole 4-minute clip of him explaining what he's explaining, just go to his TikTok, Dominique Alexander. He's definitely a person that's sucking up a lot of the money because he's their official family spokesperson. And he says the attorney's still on the case. So I do trust his word on that, even though he's not the most trustworthy individual based on his criminal history. If you know, you know. But there has been a lot of misinformation about this case. You got people putting out videos acting like they were there during the track meet when they weren't there. You got people acting like they know exactly what's going on and they really don't. So I think the best thing for any rational minded person is just to, you know, let the judicial system run its course. Things will unfold how they unfold, and we will get updates as things transpire. At the end of the day, like any rational minded person has said all along, this whole case is a tragedy all the way around. You have two different families who have been just turned upside down. One family lost a son. He's never coming back. Rest in peace to him. And you have one family whose son is most likely going to spend the rest of his life, if not the rest of his life, the overwhelming majority of his life in prison because of a senseless act of violence that did not need to take place. This entire situation was 100% avoidable, and it just sucks that this type of situation occurred, and hopefully there can be some lessons learned from it, and we won't see anything like this happen again. But you know, this is America. These things do happen from time to time, and I doubt it'll be the last time we see something like this. But that's the end of the video. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, comment. Peace.